In this video, we'll show you how to replace the washer fluid reservoir on your Honda Pilot. This is located in the engine bay and on the passenger side of the vehicle. Let's get started. We're going to pull up on the shroud that covers the front portion of our engine bay here. There's pop clips on the bottom side holding this in. You want to be careful of your hood latch here. And we can just set that off to the side. We can go ahead and remove our front air intake. We just have a couple of clips. I'm using a clip tool. If you have a flathead screwdriver, that'll work as well. We have two at the front and two at the back. We'll set that off to the side. We can remove the middle portion of the intake. We have 11 10mm bolts along the top of the grill here. We're going to go ahead and remove those. Now we need to pry out on this bit of the grill that extends into the headlight here. I'll be using a trim tool. You can certainly use a flathead and a rag. Just pop that out and work our way in. And we can do the same on the other side. With the vehicle raised and supported, we can remove our lug nuts with a 22mm. We'll set those off to the side. It's good to use a magnet tray so you don't kick them all over the place. In the wheel well, we have two Phillips head screws holding the trim onto the fender. You can go ahead and remove those. Now we're just going to pull out on this trim. Under our trim piece, we have another Phillips head screw. We have one screw at the bottom of the front bumper on the inside of the fender. Underneath the front bumper here, we have 8 10mm bolts. We'll remove those. And we have 4 plastic clips as well. I'm using a clip tool, but you can certainly use a flathead screwdriver for this. If we pull back on the fender liner here, we can access our fog light connector. We can push up on the tab, and we'll pull that out. You want to check the terminals for any damage or corrosion. This looks good. Up above that, we have our turn signal connector. Same as the other. Push in on the tab and pull out on the connector. These terminals look good. And we can do the same on the other side. Now we can reach behind the bumper. We're going to start pulling it out all along the edge here. There are tabs all along underneath the headlight. It can help to use a flathead screwdriver, pry up a little bit on them. You want to be careful not to damage the bumper or the headlight while doing this. Now we can do the same on the other side. Before pulling the bumper fully away, you want to make sure you have everything disconnected. We have one more connector down on the passenger side. You can undo that, and the bumper comes off. We have a 10mm attaching the splash shield to the fender liner. As well as a Phillips head and a plastic clip. Just pull this back and rest it on top of the brake caliper. With a fluid receptacle underneath the vehicle, we can go ahead and remove the pump. We'll just pull up. And on the bottom of the reservoir, we have the level sensor. We can pull that out as well. Following the level sensor wire up, we have a small clip. We can remove that. We have two 10mm bolts, one on the back side of the reservoir here. And we have one on the front side. I'm using a swivel socket to get this one. Up towards the top of the reservoir, we have a plastic clip. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver. Thread the center of the clip out. We have one 10mm down on the frame rail. There's a small tab on the bottom of this connector. You can pull down on it. And that'll give us enough room to remove the other 10mm bolt. And work the reservoir to the back of the vehicle. It's going to be very tight. You're going to be very careful of your wiring. Line up the filler neck. Make sure that that's right behind the headlight. And it's a bit of a tight squeeze. Push towards the front of the vehicle. We need to get this rear-facing tab around this bit of the wiring harness and up against the frame rail. You can get the motor back installed. You're going to push down and then push the motor in. And this is our level sensor, the grommet on the bottom side. Push that up and in until it's fully seated. I'm going to get both of the bolts started in before I tighten them down. Now we can snug both those down. And you can do the same to the one in the rear. We'll get the clip in the fender liner. We'll get our Phillips head screw through the engine splash shield and the fender liner here. And finally, we can get our 10mm bolt through the engine splash shield and into the fender liner. We can get the two 10mm bolts in, holding the PCM to the frame rail, as well as the bracket for the ABS module. We can slide the connector onto its tab. Make sure the tab locks in and it won't pull back off. And we can get our clip in at the top of the reservoir. Now fill it up with some washer fluid. We can plug in the connector for our corner lamps, as well as our fog light. As we're installing the bumper, we'll line up the grille and all of our tabs up at the top. Next, we'll make sure that the bumper is aligned with our headlights on either side. We have a few tabs underneath the headlight. We can go ahead and push in on those. Next, we can push in on the grille trim, make sure all of our tabs get set down, and make sure that all of your bolt holes up top are all in line. We can plug in our fog light and our corner lamp connectors on the driver's side. Now we'll install the Phillips head screws on either side of the front bumper, right behind the trim. And we can work our way from the top, pushing in each tab of the trim. We'll line up our fender liner and install the screws. With the vehicle raised and supported, we can go ahead and install the clips and screws from the bottom side. And we'll snug these up. Back up top, looking in the engine bay, we can go ahead and install all of the bolts and the clips for up here. Now we can run along the grille and snug all of these down. We can install our pieces of the air inlet. We can install our clips. Now we can reinstall the radiator cover. I want to just get it all lined up and then start working along, pushing in until it's all fully seated. When installing our lug nuts, I want to hold in on the bottom. That way the rim is seated against the hub. If you turn one lug nut all the way in, it'll hold it for you. We can snug these down. We'll torque this to 94 foot-pounds in a star pattern using a 22 millimeter.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.